What's up YouTube? Dougie Chong here. Welcome to today's episode where I'll be reviewing Slack stock. I'll apologize in advance, this video is going to be a little bit scattered. I didn't really get enough time to do as much preparing as I usually do. I spent the entire day building IKEA cabinets. The IKEA cabinets are for a new renovation project that I am working on. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want more information. By the end of the day, I got pretty good at building the upper cabinets for the kitchen, but the lower cabinets, especially the ones with the shelves and the soft closing drawers, they're pretty hard to make. Do not underestimate how much time it'll take you to build those. I could make a whole video on the IKEA Experience, but to sum it up, I really dislike their delivery service and all their items almost always seem to be out of stock. But enough about that, let's get on to the topic of this video of Slack stock, or ticker symbol WORK, W-O-R-K. I really like a clever ticker symbol, and WORK really gets straight to the point. Use Slack to get work done. For those of you that don't know what Slack the company does, they pretty much center around the Slack software technology platform. They were founded in the year 2013 and are available for Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, almost everything. And pretty much its mission when the company was founded was to replace email and make communication a lot easier to get work done. Everyone remembers old email experiences in the past, whether it be an old Hotmail account or Yahoo account. It was really hard to navigate or search for old emails. A lot of things just seemed to get lost. If you ever used emails at work, you have tons of incoming messages, a lot of outgoing messages, and it's really hard to find that one email that you're looking for. I actually looked more into the origins of Slack, and it actually started as Stuart Butterfield's internal project for a video game, I believe, called Glitch. Usually when a company starts off as an internal tool, it means that it started off fulfilling a need, and quickly it was seen that worldwide, everyone needed a better communications technology. I remember when I first found out that Slack was an acronym, I actually thought it was pretty clever. It stands for a searchable log of all communications and knowledge. I actually thought Slack initially was just a play on words, like instead of doing work, you're slacking. And that may very well be the case because when I was double checking my information, Slack is actually a backronym, which means an acronym that was named after the word was created. So basically someone saw Slack and made up an acronym. That kind of works for the company. So Slack started off in a video game company, so it was very software focused. It wasn't like they were a big company like Microsoft and just trying to improve efficiency. They were a technology company from its core, and that really helped it develop a lot of niche features that a lot of other technology companies really like and enjoy. As a software engineer myself, I have used Slack. One of my first experiences with Slack was back in university. A bunch of friends just decided to use this new app called Slack and start what's called a channel. Back then, the channel was one of the main features of Slack. Basically, you have different channels which relate to different topics. If you were in a company, maybe each channel is a different project. But instead of an email box that you just get emails from all over, different projects all just coming at you in one inbox, you had specific information stored in different channels. And this information didn't just have to be text, you can have files organized, photos organized, a whole lot more in one channel. Nowadays, they employ many different search tricks, so you can search by regular expressions and other things across different channels. I'll be honest, I'm pretty lazy. I don't really use a lot of those tricks, but I heard Slack is very good at finding information. Fast forward to the year 2020, let me just read you some of the stats on this 7-year-old company. They have over 12 million daily active users. They have 119,000 active paid customers. Let me mention, Slack does have a free platform, which is really good to get you started and get you used to it, and then you get more features with a paid subscription. And then they are 65 of the, I didn't even know this, but 65 of the top Fortune 100 companies use Slack. And they are in over 150 companies. I actually went to a UI UX conference last year where Slack was one of the prominent companies presenting what they wanted out of a UI UX designer. I was actually surprised Slack is actually in Japan, and they actually had to have a lot of different UI UX features for the Japanese product. Different things such as how different characters translated from English to Japanese, as well as different color schemes, were very important to making the Japanese product. Needless to say, Slack is a pretty extraordinary company. Companies like Starbucks use them, TD Ameritrade, Nordstrom, and they IPO'd in 2019 at a stock price of around $37 and close to $40 billion market cap. So you've heard me say a lot of great things about Slack, and with all the work from home that's going on now, you might think it's definitely gonna be a buy for me, but there's always two sides to the story. See, in the last maybe 2 or 3 years, a big player, Microsoft, saw the success that Slack was having and decided to make its own competing product known as Microsoft Teams and really compete with Slack in this market. Now, if you don't know the company Microsoft, they're a giant. I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but their market cap is over $1 trillion. They have one of the biggest companies and one of the most talented workforces to build a competing product. And it's kind of sad how technology companies can't really patent different software features. So things like Snapchat were just completely copied by Instagram. Microsoft Teams blatantly copies a lot of Slack's features. And Microsoft chose to really aggressively push the Teams product. They didn't just kind of offer it, oh, maybe use this if you don't want to use Slack. They really pushed all the companies that were using Office 365 to use Microsoft Teams as well. That is why, even though I really enjoy the Slack product, I end up using Microsoft Teams at work just because we already have the entire Office 365 bundle, and there's no point getting an extra thing in Slack. When I first started using Teams, this was maybe 1 or 2 years ago, it really wasn't the greatest experience. I didn't like it at all. There were a lot of issues with connecting to audio, but nowadays I'm kind of used to it. I think it's pretty similar to Slack, but again, I think Slack has a few extra features that Microsoft Teams does not have. But when you look at the companies that already have Office 365, kind of getting them to switch to Slack would be a very difficult task. And that is why Slack is not automatically a home run stock. They have to compete with Microsoft Teams. This leads me to the numbers section of the video, where Slack stock sits somewhere around $25 right now. Its 52-week high was all the way at $40.07, and its 52-week low dropped all the way down to $15.10. I remember looking at it maybe late last year, and I was kind of in the low 20s, and I was very much considering buying this stock. Its current assets sits at $970 million, and its non-current assets sit at about $471 million, so they definitely have a lot of assets to use. Its total liabilities sit at $717 million, so it definitely has more assets than liabilities. I'll also mention that another competitor they have is the video conferencing app, Zoom. I'll leave a link in the description below where I review that stock, but the Zoom stock is pretty good if all you want is video conferencing. So in my opinion, is Slack stock a buy? I definitely like the product and the company, and that is usually enough to make a stock a buy. But there are a lot of hurdles with this company, such as different competitors, that make it really hard to say it's a clear-cut buy. Again, just a disclaimer, this is just my opinion. I am not a legal financial advisor. This is not legal financial advice. But I do think it is a buy, and I'm gonna be starting to look to start a small position. Even though I say it's a buy, it's not like a huge, strong buy. It's not like Facebook where it's guaranteed to be making loads of money. Just because of all the competitors, Microsoft Teams could just completely wipe it out. So it's one of those high risk, high reward opportunities. It really got hit hard because of the competitor news, and it never really ticked back up. They went from like 20 to 25 now. It's really not hit its full potential. So when you combine the facts that I like the company, I like the product, it has a strong balance sheet, and I really think the future of work is going to be more online, you're going to need more of these tools like Slack. I really think it is a good stock to at least have a few shares, to at least start buying some. Just because it has a few competitors doesn't mean that it cannot succeed. Before I end the video, let me mention that I have stopped using the Thinkorswim trading platform to monitor my simulated stock trading account. Basically what happened for me, I forgot the password of the account. There's no easy way to get it back, but from the Discord chat, I was able to kind of recreate it in Yahoo Finance. It's maybe not exactly the same. It's pretty close, sitting close to $120,000, which is up 20K since when it started late last year. So that's pretty good despite everything that's happened in the market and some of my bad picks in CCL, which were outweighed by some good picks such as Apple. That's it for this video, guys. Please leave a like if this video helped you at all. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. I hope you learned a lot about Slack stock. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, enjoy the rest of your day and see you in the next video.